Is it a good investment to buy Bitcoin, or is Bitcoin one of the most risky investments you can make right now? Hey there, my name is Mike Fritz. I'm the founder of Titanium Capital Investments and the Multifamily CEO System. My greatest passion is helping people just like you create financial freedom with multifamily real estate. And in this video, I'm going to walk you through the ins and outs of Bitcoin and if you should be making the investment in Bitcoin right now, or if Bitcoin is really going to live up to all the hype. Let's go. One of the reasons Bitcoin is rising is because it is a limited supply. Experts that are talking about Bitcoin right now say there's a 21 to 23 million Bitcoins in existence. I've heard both numbers from different experts, but either way, anytime there's a limited supply of something, there is a maximum demand for something, especially when it can make money. So investing in Bitcoin, you're investing in something that has a limited supply. This is a good thing to invest in. This is actually why I invest a lot into real estate, because it does have a limited supply. While we can develop more property, the more expensive it becomes to develop, the more people don't controlling the supply. Right? That's why real estate's a great investment. It's the same with Bitcoin. Limit the supply and you can actually see it continue to rise. I was actually called by a friend about 3 months ago to ask if I'd like to invest in Bitcoin. And he had a company he was investing through. And I said, no, you know what? I'm good right now. Now, Bitcoin at that time was around the $23,000 per Bitcoin mark. So I was toying with putting $10,000 into Bitcoin and decided not to. 90 days later, a Bitcoin is $65,000, triple the value. Had I put $10,000, it would have grown to $30,000 in 3 months. That's a huge return on investment. So here's the thing. Bitcoin can be a massively good investment, but I want to make sure you understand the ins and outs before you go down that road. So tip number one, there's a limited supply. Anything you invest in, you want to audit the supply. You want to see what kind of supply exists. If you're investing in multifamily, see how hard it is to get multifamily. If there's multifamily for sale everywhere, might not be the best investment. If it's a tough asset to get a hold of, especially the good ones, that's probably a good place to be looking. And right now, it is. It's the same with Bitcoin. Its limited supply makes it a very, very good thing to invest in, increases the demand. It doesn't mean it's not volatile. It just means that it's continuing to grow. Things like Bitcoin invest solely on perception because nobody really understands Bitcoin yet. We don't know what it's going to be used for. We don't know how it's going to be used. We don't know if it's going to replace currency and become a global currency. We don't really know what's going to happen with Bitcoin, but that's a lot of why investors are saying we should invest in it, is because, yeah, it looks like it's trending. We don't know what's going to happen. This is a good gamble to make. I'm saying I don't really like to gamble with investment dollars. I like to invest in proven track records. And why that might make me not take advantage of an amazing opportunity, it also, I can control where my money's going and control if it goes up or down. In real estate, I can control the value by increasing the rents and decreasing the expenses. I can't do anything to change Bitcoin. If I buy it at $65,000 and it tanks to $10,000, I can't control that. And I don't know if that's going to happen, but it can. It's grown overnight, so why couldn't it crash overnight? And so this is my problem with volatile investments. Investments that grow on a massive track record up scare me a little bit because what goes up often comes down at a faster pace. And so here's what I want you to know about Bitcoin. I want you to be careful investing, but the limited supply makes it attractive. The second thing I want you to know about Bitcoin is I would make it an additional investment, not a primary investment. Don't make your investment track record investing in something that has very little knowledge about it, and don't make it all you're investing in. Make it additional. Like if you're already invested in something making you good money and you want to throw $5,000 or $10,000 at it to see what happens, that's fine. Do that. But don't make it your primary form of wealth building because we don't know how volatile it really is yet. We have seen it go up and down, but we've seen it grow at a rapid rate. I think that COVID-19 pandemic, because it's made one issue global, we dealt with a virus that almost every country in the world was dealing with, which also kind of shrunk the world a little bit. We were hearing about people in different countries dealing with the same thing, and currencies the same way. We saw everybody's currency take a hit because governments were having to print money to keep their people afloat. Well, a global currency that has internet trade or digital trade that isn't physical, people began to see this is going to be the future. And so they started to invest in it. So why is Bitcoin going up? Is it because it's more valuable, or is it just because more people want it, meaning the demand is up? See, if the demand is up, the value's up. But is the value really up? Can it really return? We don't know yet. It's too early to know. And for me, I've seen real estate return so consistently, I'm not going to gamble on something that I just don't understand. So Bitcoin is a good diversification technique. It's a good something else to invest in, not good primary to invest in. And so if you're investing in stocks or real estate, make it something else, just don't make it the thing. And that's what I continue to say to everybody who asks me about Bitcoin. Throw some money at it and see what happens, but don't make it your primary way of investing. In fact, if I was going to put $10,000 into Bitcoin, I was only going to put money in there that it's like if it lost, it was a good gamble, I learned my lesson, I move on. I'm not going to put money into Bitcoin that I really need to work, because the truth is, I don't know if it's gonna. I know real estate's gonna perform. Even in an economic crash, it's still gonna produce money. That is a good investment. And Bitcoin, I don't know if it can weather that kind of storm yet, but we'll see. I want to hear in the comments section, have you invested in Bitcoin, or is somebody you know investing in Bitcoin? Throw in the comments below if you've invested in Bitcoin, and would you consider putting some of your investment dollars into Bitcoin? And the third thing you want to look at is your risk. You really want to take a risk assessment of your level of risk and investment, because just because something is popular doesn't make it a great investment. Just because a lot of people are investing in it doesn't make it something you should be putting your money into. And as a side note about investing in Bitcoin, you want to be really careful who you're investing through to get to the Bitcoin. You want to make sure you're investing in a proven company that a lot of people have used and had good luck with. In fact, this person that called me 3 months ago and asked me if I'd like to invest in Bitcoin, the person they put $20,000 with ended up being a complete scam. Their money wasn't even in Bitcoin. And here's the thing I want you to know. Investing in Bitcoin is one thing, but make sure you're not giving money to a scam company that says they're putting it in Bitcoin. You want to use companies that are tried and true, and you'll really make sure your money's going there. Because the truth of the matter is, Bitcoin is volatile enough as an investment. It's considered a high-risk investment because any digital currency is, because it goes up and down. And what Bitcoin is going to do, it's going to create another currency. What does that mean? It's mean when somebody sees that Bitcoin a national currency, somebody's just going to create another currency, right? Somebody's going to create another currency that competes with Bitcoin. And as long as enough people sign on to a new currency and they do things maybe a little better trade, a little better benefit, they're going to come around and be even more popular. In fact, there's already another currency right now growing and competing with Bitcoin. Is it as big as Bitcoin yet? No, but it could be. And here's the problem. As Bitcoin starts to grow, other currencies are going to come in and do the same thing. They're going to compete. It's the same thing. Apple begins to grow. You have more computer companies starting computers and selling them off, and all of a sudden, the market share is flooded with businesses that are trying to sell the same thing. Same thing's going to happen with crypto. It's going to happen that more companies come in, start a digital currency, and start selling it, and it's going to make Bitcoin less valuable. But instead of Bitcoin, I would invest in real estate. And what I want to give you today is a free gift, a free 60-minute multifamily masterclass. It's a masterclass to help you get into real estate 10 weeks or less with none of your own money. That's an investment I do know you should make because of its track record, how much it's done for me, the freedom it's provided for millions of people so they can be able to spend time with their family and kids. This masterclass was created because I want to see you have financial freedom, and it's a whole lot less volatile and a whole lot more trusted. So go into the description, click the link free multifamilymasterclass.com, click that link, and I'll see you in the training.